Chelsea fans, brace yourselves. The Robert Sanchez era may be ending sooner than you think. Chelsea fans, can we talk for a moment about the one thing that has been keeping you up at night? Every time Robert Sanchez touches the ball inside our own box, does your heart skip a beat? Do you find yourself covering your eyes, waiting for the next mistake? If you said yes, you are not alone. Thousands of Blues fans feel exactly the same way right now, and the noise around Stamford Bridge is getting louder by the day. Something big is brewing behind the scenes at Chelsea. A World Cup winning goalkeeper has been offered to the club. Talks are already happening. And the man who could finally end the Robert Sanchez nightmare has a name that every football fan on the planet knows well: Emiliano Martinez. Grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let us break down everything that is happening right now with Chelsea, Robert Sanchez, and the growing push to bring in Martinez. This is one story every Chelsea fan needs to understand before the transfer window slams shut. The problem in goal that won't go away. Let's be honest with each other. Chelsea have a serious problem, and it is standing right between the posts. Robert Sanchez has had a rough start to this season. In the recent 3-2 win over Fulham, the warning signs were impossible to ignore. Yes, Chelsea got the 3 points, but anyone watching closely could see the cracks. The Blues were sloppy at the back, they gave away chances they should never have given away, and once again, all eyes turned to the man in goal. Ask yourself this. How many times this season have you watched a Chelsea game and felt nervous every single time the ball rolled back to our goalkeeper? How many times have you seen a routine situation turn into a moment of panic? That fear does not just affect the goalkeeper. It spreads through the whole team. When your last line of defense feels shaky, your center-backs play differently. They rush passes. They hesitate. They start looking over their shoulder instead of pushing forward with confidence. This is the real cost of goalkeeper errors. It is never just about one mistake in one game. It changes how the entire team plays. A shaky goalkeeper can quietly destroy the confidence of an entire defense, and that is exactly what some fans and pundits believe has been happening at Chelsea. We are not talking about a small group of angry fans on social media either. Respected voices in football have started speaking out. Sky Sports pundits Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville both raised serious concerns about the goalkeeper situation after watching Chelsea struggle defensively. Carragher pointed out that Chelsea conceded needless goals and said the club has to sort out the goalkeeper problem before it comes back to haunt them later in the season. Neville went one step further and said Chelsea needs someone like Emiliano Martinez in goal, because a shaky number one can undermine everything a team is trying to build. When two of the most respected voices in English football are both saying the same thing without even planning it together, you have to sit up and take notice. This is not just fan frustration anymore. This is becoming a genuine football conversation at the highest level. So here is the big question for you, Chelsea fans. Can a club with title ambitions really keep rolling the dice with a goalkeeper who keeps making costly errors? Can Chelsea really compete with Arsenal and Manchester City for major trophies this season while carrying this kind of risk in goal? Why this moment feels different. Chelsea fans have heard goalkeeper transfer rumors before. We have seen names come and go. So why does this one feel different? Why is everyone suddenly talking about this deal like it could actually happen? Here is why. This is not some random name being thrown around by a small blog trying to get clicks. This story is coming from the most trusted voices in football transfer news. Fabrizio Romano, the man known across the world for breaking major transfer stories, confirmed that Chelsea are in active negotiations with Emiliano Martinez's camp over a possible late move. Respected journalist David Ornstein also reported the same story, which adds even more weight to it. When two of the biggest names in transfer journalism are reporting the same development at the same time, Chelsea fans know this is worth paying close attention to. According to these reports, Martinez has actually been offered to Chelsea. Let that sink in for a moment. This is not Chelsea desperately chasing a keeper who wants nothing to do with them. This is a situation where representatives around Martinez are actively working to find him a new home, and Chelsea is one of the clubs being seriously considered. Why is Martinez even available? The answer lies at his current club, Aston Villa. Villa have already signed Zion Suzuki and made it clear he will be their new starting goalkeeper. That decision leaves Martinez without a clear path to regular football at Villa Park, and everyone in football knows that a player of his quality and ambition is not going to sit on the bench for long. Before this Chelsea link came up, there was actually a move on the table for Martinez to join Juventus. Personal terms were reportedly already agreed, but that deal collapsed. Since then, his representatives have been working hard to find him a new destination, and Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur have both been mentioned as Premier League clubs in contact. There has even been talk of interest from Major League Soccer and Saudi Pro League clubs, showing just how many options are on the table for a goalkeeper of his stature. Here is the part that should really grab your attention. Reports suggest Aston Villa are willing to sell Martinez for less than £10 million. Think about that for a second. A World Cup winning goalkeeper, one of the most recognizable and respected shot stoppers in the modern game, available for a fee that is small change in today's transfer market. For a club with Chelsea's ambitions, that kind of price for that kind of upgrade is very hard to walk away from. So ask yourself this. If your club could fix one of its biggest weaknesses for less than £10 million, would you not want them to go all in and get it done? What makes Xabi Martinez different? Let's talk about why Chelsea fans are so excited about this specific name. Emiliano Martinez is not just another goalkeeper. He is one of the most decorated and battle-tested shot stoppers in world football right now. Martinez won the World Cup with Argentina, and anyone who watched that tournament remembers exactly how important he was in those pressure moments, especially in the shootouts that decided some of the biggest games. This is a goalkeeper who has proven, on the biggest stage football has to offer, that he does not crumble under pressure. While Chelsea fans have been watching nervous mistakes in ordinary Premier League matches, Martinez has been delivering when the entire world was watching. That kind of mental strength is priceless for a Premier League club fighting for major trophies. Football is often decided in small moments. A save in the 89th minute. A calm decision when the whole stadium is screaming. A moment of composure that swings an entire match. Chelsea fans have not had much of that from the goalkeeper position lately, and that is exactly the gap Martinez could fill. It is only fair to say Martinez is not perfect either. Like many goalkeepers, he has faced criticism at times for his distribution with the ball at his feet. No player is flawless, and it would not be honest to pretend otherwise. But when you compare his overall reliability, his experience at the very top level, and his big match temperament to what Chelsea have been getting from Robert Sanchez this season, it becomes clear why so many fans and pundits see this as a significant upgrade. Think about the message a signing like this sends as well. Bringing in a World Cup winning goalkeeper is not a small squad rotation move. It is a statement. It tells your own players, and every rival club watching, that Chelsea are serious about fixing weaknesses and building a squad capable of competing for the biggest prizes in English and European football. What this means for Robert Sanchez. Now let's talk about the other side of this story, because every transfer has two sides. To be fair to Robert Sanchez, Xabi Alonso has publicly backed him through this rough patch so far. After the difficult performance against Fulham, Alonso came out and told Sanchez to relax and carry on, showing support for his goalkeeper rather than throwing him under the bus in public. That says something about the kind of manager Alonso is. He does not panic after one bad night, and he tries to protect his players from outside noise. But here is the reality of football at the highest level. Public support from a manager does not always mean a player's starting position is guaranteed forever. Managers protect players with words while quietly exploring options behind the scenes, and that appears to be exactly what is happening right now at Chelsea. Even while Alonso backs Sanchez publicly, the club is reportedly in genuine talks over a replacement. This is the tough side of professional football that fans do not always see. A manager can believe in a player and still accept that the team needs an upgrade in that position. Both things can be true at the same time. Alonso wants to protect Sanchez as a person and a professional, but as a manager with title ambitions, he also has to think about results, and results are exactly what has brought this goalkeeper conversation to the surface. So what would happen to Sanchez if Chelsea do complete a deal for Martinez? It is realistic to expect he would drop down the pecking order, at least for a period, while the club assesses which goalkeeper gives them the best chance of winning matches and trophies. Competition for places is normal in a squad built for success, and no position should be treated as completely safe if performances are not matching the level a top club needs. Here is a question worth sitting with. Is it fair to expect any manager, no matter how loyal, to keep starting a goalkeeper who is costing the team points, especially when a ready-made upgrade is genuinely available on the table? The bigger picture for Chelsea's season. Step back for a moment and think about what Chelsea are actually trying to achieve this season. This is a club with real ambition. Fans want to see Chelsea competing at the very top again, challenging clubs like Arsenal and Manchester City for major honors, not just scraping results together and hoping for the best. You cannot build a genuine title challenge on a shaky foundation, and goalkeeping is exactly that, the foundation of any strong team. Look at the most successful sides in recent Premier League history. Nearly all of them have had a goalkeeper fans can trust completely, someone who turns nervous moments into safe ones instead of the other way around. Confidence at the back gives freedom to attack. When your goalkeeper commands the box and organizes the defense with authority, your center-backs can push higher, your full-backs can bomb forward, and your midfield can press with more courage, because they trust the safety net behind them. Right now, based on results and performances, that trust has been shaken between Chelsea fans and their current number one. Fixing that is not just about one position on the pitch. It is about giving the entire team the platform and confidence needed to compete for real trophies. The timing of this transfer talk also matters enormously. The transfer window closes on the 1st of September, which means Chelsea have a very short amount of time to get any deal for Martinez done if they want to strengthen this position before the window shuts. Every day that passes without an announcement will only add more tension and excitement for supporters following this story closely. So here is something to think about. If Chelsea genuinely believe they can compete for major trophies this season, can they really afford to enter that fight without settling the goalkeeper question first? What Chelsea fans are saying. Walk through any Chelsea supporters group online right now and you will feel the excitement building. Fans have been calling for a goalkeeper upgrade for a long time, and now that a concrete name and concrete talks are actually being reported, the reaction has been huge. Many fans see this as exactly the kind of decisive move a club with real ambition should be willing to make. There is a strong feeling among supporters that Chelsea cannot keep hoping things will magically improve in goal. They want action, and they want it before the transfer window closes. At the same time, some fans are being realistic and pointing out that nothing is confirmed yet. Talks being reported is very different from a deal actually being completed. Football supporters have seen plenty of transfer stories catch fire online only to fade away without a signing ever happening, so there is a healthy mix of excitement and caution in the fan base right now. What do you think, Chelsea fans? Are you fully on board with bringing in Emiliano Martinez to replace Robert Sanchez as our number one? Or do you think Sanchez deserves more time to settle in and prove himself before the club makes such a big change? Drop your thoughts, because this is exactly the kind of debate that makes following Chelsea so exciting right now. A look back at how we got here. To really understand why this moment matters so much, it helps to remember how Robert Sanchez ended up at Chelsea in the first place. He arrived at the club as part of a big rebuild in the goalkeeping department, brought in to offer competition and eventually become a long-term option between the posts. Every new signing arrives with hope. Fans want every player to succeed, and Chelsea supporters gave Sanchez every chance to grow into the role. Goalkeeping at a club like Chelsea is one of the hardest jobs in football. You are not just stopping shots. You are organizing a defense that is expected to keep clean sheets against the best attackers in the world. You are dealing with the pressure of a fan base that demands trophies every single season. Some goalkeepers grow into that pressure over time. Others struggle to find consistency, and that struggle becomes very visible very quickly, because every mistake a goalkeeper makes ends up on the scoreboard. Over time, certain patterns started to repeat. A hesitant moment here. A misjudged cross there. A save that should have been routine turning into a scramble. On their own, single mistakes can happen to any goalkeeper, even the best in the world. But when the same kinds of errors start showing up again and again, supporters and pundits begin asking harder questions, and that is exactly the stage Chelsea find themselves at right now. This is not about attacking one player as a person. Robert Sanchez is a professional who has represented his country and worked hard to reach the top level of football. This is about whether his current form matches what a club with Chelsea's ambitions needs from the goalkeeper position right now, in this specific season, with this specific squad chasing this specific level of success. Why goalkeeper mistakes hurt more than other mistakes. Here is something every football fan understands deep down, even if we do not always say it out loud. Not all mistakes on a football pitch are equal. If a striker misses a difficult chance, it is disappointing, but there is often another chance later in the game. If a midfielder gives away possession in the middle of the pitch, the defense usually has time to react and reorganize. But when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, there is frequently no second chance. The ball is often already in the back of the net before anyone can do anything about it. This is why goalkeeper errors feel so much heavier than other mistakes on the pitch. They are final. They cannot usually be undone within the same passage of play. A striker who misses 5 chances can still redeem himself by scoring the winner in the final minute. A goalkeeper who makes one costly mistake at the wrong moment can single-handedly change the entire result of a match, no matter how well the rest of the team played. That is exactly why fans react so strongly to these situations. It is not that supporters enjoy criticizing players. It is that goalkeeper mistakes have such a direct and immediate impact on results, on league position, and ultimately on whether a club like Chelsea can compete for the trophies its fans expect every single year. Ask yourself honestly, how many points do you think Chelsea have dropped this season because of moments in goal that could have gone differently? Even if the exact number is hard to pin down, most fans watching closely already have a feeling in their gut about the answer, and that feeling is exactly what is fueling this entire conversation around Sanchez and Martinez right now. What a goalkeeper change could do for the whole team. Let's imagine, just for a moment, what life could look like at Chelsea with a settled, commanding presence in goal. Picture a back four that plays with total confidence, knowing that any mistake they make has a real chance of being covered by their goalkeeper rather than punished immediately. Picture center-backs stepping into midfield to press higher up the pitch, because they trust the last line of defense behind them. Picture full-backs flying forward to support attacks, knowing their goalkeeper can organize the box and deal with counter-attacks calmly if possession is lost. This is not just wishful thinking. This is exactly how the best defensive units in world football operate. A goalkeeper who commands his box, communicates clearly, and rarely makes costly errors becomes the foundation that allows an entire team to play with more freedom and more courage going forward. Emiliano Martinez has built a reputation for exactly this kind of presence. Big personality, loud communication, total command of his penalty area, and the kind of composure under pressure that comes from performing on the very biggest stages football has to offer. If Chelsea managed to bring in a goalkeeper with that profile, it is not unreasonable to expect the entire defensive unit to grow in confidence as a result. Confidence spreads through a football team faster than almost anything else. When players trust the goalkeeper behind them, they take more risks in the right areas of the pitch. They press higher. They commit to challenges instead of holding back. Over the course of a long Premier League season, that extra 0.5% of confidence in every single player can be the difference between finishing fourth and finishing in the title race. What could go wrong with this deal? It would not be fair or realistic to present this story as a guaranteed happy ending. Football transfers, especially late ones near a deadline, can be complicated and unpredictable, and there are real questions Chelsea fans should keep in mind. First, nothing is signed yet. Talks being reported by trusted journalists is a very positive sign, but it is still just talks. Fees need to be agreed. Personal terms need to be finalized. Medical checks need to be completed. Any one of these steps can slow a deal down or, in rare cases, cause it to collapse entirely, just as we saw happen with the earlier reported move to Juventus. Second, there is the question of age and long-term planning. Martinez is 33 years old, which means any transfer would likely be viewed as a shorter-term solution rather than a 10-year project. For some fans, that is perfectly fine, since the priority right now is fixing an immediate problem rather than planning a decade ahead. For others, it raises a fair question about whether Chelsea should also be developing or targeting a younger long-term option at the same time. Third, there is competition for his signature. Reports have mentioned Tottenham Hotspur as another Premier League club in contact, along with interest from Major League Soccer and Saudi Pro League clubs. Chelsea are not the only team who can see the value in signing a proven, low-cost, World Cup winning goalkeeper, and that competition could complicate negotiations or drive up the final price. None of this means the deal will not happen. It simply means Chelsea fans should stay realistic while staying excited, because that balance is exactly what smart, informed supporters bring to a transfer story like this one. How other top clubs have handled similar situations. Chelsea are far from the first big club to face a difficult goalkeeper decision, and looking at how other clubs have handled similar situations can help put this moment into perspective. Time and again across European football, we have seen clubs make bold changes in goal when a player's form dipped at a costly moment in the season, even when that player had once been trusted as the clear number one. In almost every one of those cases, the driving factor was the same. The team simply could not afford to keep dropping points in matches they should have won or drawn comfortably. We have also seen the opposite story play out. Some clubs stuck with their goalkeeper through a rough patch, gave him time and support, and were eventually rewarded when his form improved and he became a long-term pillar of the team. Football history shows us both outcomes are possible, which is exactly why this decision is never simple for any manager to make. What tends to separate the successful decisions from the unsuccessful ones is honest and clear-eyed assessment. Clubs that make decisions based on genuine footballing needs, rather than panic or emotion, tend to come out the right side of these moments more often. That is ultimately the standard Chelsea fans should hold their club to here. Not panic, not knee-jerk reactions, but a clear, honest look at whether the current goalkeeping situation gives this squad its best chance of success this season. What this says about Chelsea's ambition. There is one more angle worth thinking about here, and it goes beyond just one position on the pitch. The fact that Chelsea are even having this conversation, seriously exploring a move for a World Cup winning goalkeeper this deep into the transfer window, says something important about the direction of the club. A team without real ambition might simply accept its current goalkeeping situation and hope things improve naturally over time. A team with genuine title and trophy ambitions looks honestly at every position on the pitch, identifies weaknesses, and works to fix them, even late in the transfer window when it would be easier to just leave things as they are. If Chelsea do complete a move for Emiliano Martinez, it will not just be a goalkeeper signing. It will be a signal to every player in the squad, to every rival club in the Premier League, and to every Chelsea fan watching closely, that this club is serious about competing at the very top again. That kind of statement matters. Confidence is built not just through individual performances, but through the decisions a club makes when it matters most. A bold, well-timed signing in a position of genuine need can lift an entire squad's belief in what is possible this season. What happens next? So where does this all leave us? Chelsea are reportedly in active talks with Emiliano Martinez's camp. Aston Villa appear willing to do business at a relatively low fee, especially with Zion Suzuki already installed as their new number one. Pundits like Carragher and Neville have publicly backed the idea of Chelsea bringing in a goalkeeper of Martinez's quality. And with the transfer window closing on the 1st of September, Chelsea do not have much time left to make a final decision. Nothing is officially confirmed just yet, and Chelsea fans know better than anyone that transfer stories can move quickly in either direction. A deal that looks close one day can collapse the next, and a rumor that seems unlikely can suddenly become reality within hours. That is exactly what makes this transfer window, and this specific story, so gripping to follow. One thing is clear though. The pressure on Chelsea to fix their goalkeeper situation is not going away quietly. Between the performances on the pitch, the voices of respected pundits, and the growing reports of genuine transfer talks, this conversation is only going to get louder as the deadline approaches. Chelsea fans, keep your eyes on this one. Whether Emiliano Martinez ends up in a Chelsea shirt or not, this goalkeeper saga is shaping up to be one of the biggest storylines of the entire transfer window for our club. Stay locked in, keep talking about it, and let us know in the comments where you stand. Are you ready to welcome Dibu Martinez to Stamford Bridge? The next few days could tell us everything.
And collapse the next. The competition factor. Are other clubs after the same players? This is something Chelsea fans need to keep in mind. Chelsea are not the only club in the world with money and ambition. Several of Europe's biggest clubs are always looking to improve their squads in the same windows. When it comes to Kobel, he is a goalkeeper who has proven himself in the Champions League at a top European club. A player like that will naturally attract interest from many clubs. Chelsea being linked is not a surprise, but they will